So I recently did a review video on the Nike Air Zoom Type, and this midsole on this shoe is absolutely bonkers. It's a double stack Cushlon midsole with these ridiculous Air Zoom pockets in the front. It's the softest and squishiest Nike I've ever tried on my feet. But one of the things I did not like about this sneaker is the entire upper. The upper just seemed plain and boring to me, so I wanted to sole swap these with some other type of upper. Now, we already know the Sacai Waffles have that exaggerated midsole as well, and it's a really interesting sneaker with an older style upper paired with this double exaggerated midsole. So it got me thinking about an older style sneaker like this paired on top of the midsole of these crazy things. So these are the off-white waffles that I got when they released, and I've just been sitting on them in the corner of the room. I wanted to do a dip dye or something like that for a custom of these, or just do something, waiting for something, and now is the time to make that happen. So what I've decided to do is sole swap this upper with this sole and see what type of monstrosity I can create. The upper on this off-white waffle was really interesting with that weird netting, but then a lot of people really didn't like the little nibs on the outsole anyway. So I thought this was the perfect opportunity to take something like this and then match it with one of the softest midsoles I've ever seen. So this video did cost me a little bit of money to marry these things together. If you guys can, drop a like on the video just for the support of it. If you don't like the final results, I get it. A lot of people just don't even like this shoe to begin with, so I can imagine what you would think of when these are together. But leave some honest feedback in the description. I know a lot of people, again, are not going to like the shoe, but it was exciting for me to do. Before you hit that thumbs down on this custom, though, just realize that I was just experimenting and trying to have fun. I'm not an expert customizer or anything like that. I wanted to go ahead and try to make this happen just for my own sake, and I thought it would be somewhat easy to do. That being said, let's go ahead and show you guys a custom. So the first part of this custom is pretty simple. You need to separate the midsole from the upper of the shoes. So all I did basically was take boiling water and place it inside of the shoe and let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then just loosening up that midsole and ripping it off. It did take a couple tries. I went through 2 rounds of water on each shoe and have to be patient and let it sit so it can kind of marinate a little bit before you start ripping off that upper. Otherwise, the midsole can rip, which it did happen on the waffles, but that's okay because the waffle one I was just going to be getting rid of anyway. Once you remove the uppers on the shoes, you just got to let them dry. And then I use some shoe trees to try to help maintain the shape of the shoe, because obviously when you have them under hot water, it kind of shrivels them up a little bit. So once you have the uppers dry, it's just using the glue to apply to the midsole. And this is kind of where I use some fatal mistakes. So I didn't use the proper glue that I usually use. I used an all-purpose cement glue that was supposed to be quick drying, but it wasn't the Barge Infinity cement, and I absolutely recommend getting that. That stuff works much better. And once I got done gluing the shoe together, I used some clamps and held it together overnight. So as you can see, we went from this to this, and I gotta say I really like the results. I know a lot of people aren't gonna be on board for this, but this is not a very wearable shoe for me. It's extremely narrow. The little nibs are just a little bit odd. And honestly, I love everything about the upper of the shoe. I just don't like the midsole and below. And this one was a perfect match for this experiment because I hate the upper on this one and I absolutely love the midsole. So here we have the Frankenweenie. No, this is crazy. So it's an off-white waffle upper and that Zoom type midsole. So it looks pretty decent in my opinion. I tried to line everything up the best I could. There's a little bit of sloppy glue stains here and there around the shoe, mostly because I didn't have the right cement and I didn't want to wait 2 weeks to get the cement. So bad on me for actually rushing into the project to make that happen because this glue was terrible that I used. So definitely I'll link it in the description. Barge Infinity Cement. It's like 33 bucks, but it's absolutely worth it. And the clamps are also really important, so I'll link some of those in the description as well. But not having the right glue was only part of the failure. The biggest part of this failure was the fact that I was using a heat gun that I wasn't familiar with. I usually use a smaller one to heat up this glue, and I used the big dog one. I got a little bit too close to this air bubble, and the heat just went pop, and it popped the air bubble on the front of the shoe. Literally nothing worse than a popped air unit. I can't even express how angry I am about this. If you guys know how to fix an air unit, drop a comment in the comment section. I'm thinking about maybe a bike pump and some, hot glue or something like that. I don't know if I can salvage it or not. They're still comfortable because of this ridiculous midsole, the double Cushlon stack. And I think they look wild. Like honestly, like this is going to be a shoe where there's going to be a couple people, like maybe 2 out of 10 are going to look at these and go, those are dope. Like he did a good job on those. Has had a vision, and then like that vision lined up to the reality of what he created, which is exactly what I'm feeling. I'm one of the 2 of the 10 that are gonna like these. I'd say 6 out of 10 of you guys are gonna be like, this shoe's terrible, the midsole's terrible, it looks terrible no matter what upper you put on it, and it doesn't make it look any better, so you just wasted a lot of time. And the other 2 out of 10 are gonna be like, well, Hess, you wasted $300+ on creating a Franken shoe that is absolutely ugly, and I would never wear those. Unsubscribe. It is what it is though, different strokes, different folks. I'm happy with the results. I'm happy that I was able to take a vision and create something that I really wanted, because I hated this upper, but I love the midsole, and I love the upper on this one, and I hate the midsole on this one. So for me, successful sole swap. Got a really crazy, chunky, funky looking dad shoe over here that has a little bit of hypebeast in it with the off-white branding and stuff. And all in all, like, I couldn't be happier. So leave a comment in the comment section. If you could have done a different upper on this midsole, what would you have done? Or if you could have done a different sole for the off-white waffles, what sole would have you chosen instead of these? I think that I mimicked the Sacai's pretty successfully with that exaggerated look. I mean, honestly, I just really like the results, and it's just a crazy shoe. But as I was creating this shoe, I decided to create a second Franken shoe because I had a perfectly intact upper, and the outsole of this one and the midsole of the waffles were pretty much perfect. So I wanted to go ahead and actually this was a test run on these to glue it together to see if it could fit. Now it doesn't fit 100% perfect because this outsole is so incredibly low cut that there's like glue, and you can see the strobel line down here on the bottom of these, but it actually paired together pretty nicely in the front, minus a little extra glue stains. The best thing about this video is I know somebody's gonna comment and say they love this shoe more than this one, and I get it, because this one looks like more of a regular sneaker. But it is what it is. I had fun trying to Frankenstein 2 different shoes. I figured might as well just sole swap them completely. I actually ripped the midsole on this one when I was taking it off, so I tried to glue it back together, but again, that glue was so terrible, it looks like crap. The other thing is the waffle sole is actually bigger than the upper, so it has a nice little like spoiler on the back right there where it doesn't actually line up, but it actually kind of looks cool the way it sticks out. I mean, it's just exaggerated like everything else, I guess. I had fun just trying to do something. Again, I haven't done a custom in a long time, and sometimes I see the inspiration and I literally can't rest until I get it done. So I worked all night after putting the kids to bed and everything to get these together. I probably shouldn't have rushed these because of the glue and the air unit, but it is what it is. I had a lot of fun with these. Anyway, this is the final results. What do you think? Drop a comment in the comment section. Drop a like on the video. I always appreciate those comments as well, where people are like, I dropped a like on your video. I hate the outcome of the shoe, but I appreciate that you did something different. I appreciate you guys for leaving those comments and the thumbs ups on the video. I had a lot of fun creating something crazy and different, and we'll go ahead and leave the video at that. If you guys haven't subscribed to my channel yet, feel free to do so. Notification bell to be notified when my videos go live, and hopefully you guys have a good rest of the day out there. Peace, guys.